now available in paperback and on ebook platforms such as Kindle and Smashwords. Isis, Bride of Dracula, the goddess next door, teams up with John Haynes to take on the Dark Vampire Lord in this Isis series adventure. Pick up Isis, Bride of Dracula at your online bookseller today. When I look at the recent incidents that led up to the death of Corn Gaines and the recent mayhem that transpired in Milwaukee after the Afro-American Negro male was shot and killed by a black police officer, they show me that these Negro children of the corn aren't getting better, they're getting worse. When I look at the actions of these Negro children of the corn, they aren't following any logic anymore. Instead of us seeing black people protesting over police officers using excessive force and having a platform to discuss the issue in a constructive manner, what we're seeing now is that these Negro children of the corn aren't even following any frame of logic. When we look at Corn Gaines and the events that led to her death, we see that she pretty much wasn't even following any sort of logic whatsoever. Here we have a female who's driving around in a car with cardboard license plates that she made herself and sitting there arguing with this police officer over this issue. Now, the police officer in this situation was pretty much, he was being as reasonable as he could possibly be in that type of situation. He was patient beyond patient. But this female just kept looking to escalate things and take them to another level. Now, I don't really know what happened with this Negro in Milwaukee who got shot and killed by the police, but in that case, we see these Negroes in the aftermath going out, talking, burning down several stores, rioting, and going crazy. Again, not following any frame of logic after this traffic stop. Now, they said after this traffic stop, this Negro, who was 23 years old, decided he was going to go take out a gun and pull it on police officers. And in this case, in the aftermath, instead of the Negroes dealing with the issue, they go out and tear up their own community yet again, which shows me that there's something really wrong with this generation of Negroes. This is why I call them the Negro children of the corn. They've literally grown up like stalks because no one has instilled within them any sort of morality, any sort of values, any sort of discipline, or any sort of social skills. And because they have not grown up with any sort of morality, discipline, or social skills, they're going out here and participating in behaviors that are pretty much completely out of control, and then trying to say that somebody was being racist towards them. Because when you look at Corn Gaines, how was these police officers being racist towards her? How were they being brutal towards her? And how does that help her case? I mean, you have this female who pretty much, again, is driving around in a car with cardboard license plates saying that she's practicing sovereignty or something like that. And she wasn't following the laws of the United States Constitution. Now, she's on a state road run by states, and the state pretty much licenses all the vehicles, and you have to follow those laws when you're in that state. And she's sitting there saying that she's a sovereign nation and arguing with the police officer, going back and forth. And then when they execute a warrant on her for that traffic stop, here she is again talking about she's going to go and threaten these police officers' lives, has a rifle, is going to shoot at these police officers, and we're supposed to believe that she is the victim in this case. And then when we look at Milwaukee and the escalation in that case, where this Negro male pretty much goes out here and he's taken in a traffic stop, and he decides to go pull out a weapon and then continue to attack these police officers. And then when the black police officer shoots him after telling him to stop, the Negroes then say it's police brutality and racism. When we look at these two cases, again, we see the logic of the Negro children of the corn, because these Negro children of the corn, again, have grown up with no sense of values, no sense of morality, no sense of social skills, no sense of order, no sense of structure, and they believe they can do whatever they want, however they want, and whenever they want. And that's the big problem with your Negro children of the corn. They have grown up like stalks. They have no understanding of how things work because their single mothers never taught them, your public schools never taught them. No one has made an effort to explain how society works to these children of the corn. And whenever someone in authority runs into one of these children of the corn, that's when we have problems because these Negro children of the corn do not understand authority. They do not understand authority figures because they've never had to deal with authority figures like police officers. They've never had to deal with authority figures like a mother. They've never had to deal with an authority figure like a father. And because they don't know how to deal with authority figures, whenever they're confronted by authority, what happens is they want to fight back against authority. And that's a big problem with these Negro children of the corn. These children of the corn, whenever they go out, they believe that the world revolves around them. They have a right to do whatever they please. And that's what's leading to a lot of problems in your Negro community, especially when it comes down to these children of the corn. And a lot of people in the black community are pretty much completely clueless of what to do about these children of the corn because they've let these children grow up like stalks and now society has to deal with them. And when they get into trouble, the sad part is we have your pro-blacks, your black activists, and many of these other Negroes who want to go out and march and protest for the behaviors that these Negroes participate in, but there is no weight of protesting for these Negroes. These Negroes are the ones who create these situations, and they go out here participating in mayhem and havoc, and they're expecting to have somebody come in and justify them just like your single mom used to do, just like their teacher used to in the public schools where they would pacify them and give them a candy or a cookie. But in the real world, nobody's going to give you a candy or a cookie. Nobody's going to give you a pass like Corin Gaines was expecting to get when that police officer stopped her for having those cardboard traffic license plates. Nor are they going to give that guy a pass like the one who got stopped in Milwaukee. People aren't going to give you passes in real life. And if you don't understand what boundaries and structure are, and if you don't understand what rules and authority are, you're going to have a lot of problems. This is why I said many years ago when I did the Negro Children of the Corn, the original video, that we were going to see more incidents like this because we have more and more of these children growing up dysfunctional and backwards and believing that the world revolves around them. The world has to do what they want it to do, and the world is there to be for them on their terms. And that's because we are raising Negro children of the corn. These children of the corn are growing up, again, in these single mother households like stalks with nobody teaching them about how to function in life. Nobody's teaching them structure. Nobody's teaching them order. Nobody's teaching them social skills. And they're growing up pretty much believing that they can do whatever they want. And because they believe they can do whatever they want, they run into an authority figure like law enforcement. And this is where we have the problem. This is where we have much of the dysfunction. And then whenever one of these Negro children of the corn pretty much get cut down off the stalk, what happens is we have all these enablers coming in, like your black pastors, your pro-blacks, and many of these other Negroes in the community trying to sit here and enable these behaviors and by making excuses for them instead of calling out this Afro-American Negro woman for creating these Negro children of the corn with these other dysfunctional Negroes and holding her accountable for the behaviors of these Negro children of the corn. Because if we don't start taking action to deal with these children of the corn, we're going to have more summers of the savage coming up year after year after year, and they're going to get worse with each passing year. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.